Set in blue and azure, sometimes turquoise-coloured seas, the islands of the Bahamas could hardly have a more inviting backdrop of colours, even if they'd been painted by Gauguin or Picasso. The archipelago of some 700 low-lying islands off the coast of Florida extends no less than 600 miles into the northernmost part of the Caribbean region. The Bahamas are only a short flight from the Florida coast that lies some 90 miles to the west of Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas. Getting to these magnificent shores is via the USA, with the most practical gateway being at Miami or Orlando for those travelling from the UK or Western Europe. The transatlantic crossing takes from most parts of the UK about 9 hours to Florida. Flights are frequent during the high season summer months, and if you can get away early in the summer, you'll have better weather and lower airfares to set you in the right mood. It makes good sense for most sun and fun-seeking visitors to combine their trip with a few days in Florida, perhaps getting rid of the jet lag, or just because it's too tempting to give Orlando and its famous theme parks a miss.
Hi. Hello. Do you have a
Take a
reservation
car
with
and
us?
go ahead. Ride those famous freeways to the heart of family fun, Walt Disney World. The one certain way to ensure family harmony is to indulge the children with Mickey and Minnie for a day or two.
Can I give Patrick a kiss?
It's simple to get into the holiday mood, and the easygoing American spirit will soon be infecting everyone. Driving around here is effortless, with all those 4- and 5-lane wide-open highways, but do watch out for the friendly speed cops. The limits are enforced here pretty vigorously. Once in or around the Orlando area, there are just too many good value hotels to make your selection from, and certainly too many attractions to choose from. We found an extremely good selection of affordable accommodation close to where the action is, and that means Walt Disney World. Take the Caribbean Resort, a Disney hotel right by the Magic Kingdom. It's designed for families, priced as such and very appropriate, since we're on our way to the Bahamas, eventually. A word of warning though, this hotel is no secret. Book well ahead if you want to stay here. It's very popular the whole year round. Once the razzmatazz of Orlando dies down, it's time to move on to where we originally set out for and visit the glorious Bahamas. Getting there from mainland Florida is either by air from Orlando and Miami or by a cruise liner, usually sailing from Fort Lauderdale, just north of Miami. Cruising to the islands will add yet another dimension to the holiday, but it will also slow it down by a day or so. The fun one can have on board will easily compensate for the more leisurely voyage across the blue waters of the sea. One can hardly believe it's the same Atlantic Ocean which laps the shores of England. Flying to Nassau is by far the quickest. There are a host of different carriers available from Florida. The national airline is Bahamas Air, but we found others like Carnival operating frequent services around the clock. The flight will take less than 45 minutes, but if you time it right, the views will take your breath away. It's best to arrange this short trip in conjunction with the transatlantic flight. It's much less costly that way, and you're unlikely to get left behind in Florida, as these flights can be very busy indeed. Arriving in Nassau is as glamorous as you choose. If you're feeling extravagant, arrange for your hotel to send a limo for the grandest of all receptions. It could be a good investment to ensure the perfect start to the holidays. Nassau is about a 15-minute taxi ride from the airport, and many of the biggest hotels are only 10 to 15 minutes away. British and many other European nationals do not require visas. A return ticket is required, however, as proof of one's intended eventual departure from the superb islands. But for now, it's time to enjoy and to get to know the Bahamas. It's also here that the Governor-General, representing the Queen, resides and reminds us of this Commonwealth nation's colonial past. Today, the ceremonial parade is mainly just that, spectacular and ritual. The marching band, with their traditional bearskins and pith helmets, set the scene for the visiting tourists. Columbus discovered the islands 500 years ago. In fact, 1992 is set for some serious celebrations in the Bahamas. Today, Nassau is the center of the visiting tourists wishing to dispense with their dollars and pounds. No problem, as surely the locals will tell you time and time again. Shopping here is really fun and pretty harmless. The straw market is well worth a visit. Apart from lots of wares made from straw, there are interesting handicrafts, leather goods and linen to be found. Browsing around here is a delight. The locals are friendly and sure to make a deal with you sooner or later. Take a horse and carriage from the main square along the shopping arcades and roadside boutiques. A visit to the local market by the bay is a delight. The selection of live shellfish, succulent sea fish, all varieties of conch and lobster are on display. The laid-back Bahamians will let you make your selection from the catch of the day.
This is how we crack the conch. We knock it up. After knocking it, then we take a knife and stick it on the inside. You twist the knife, and after twisting the knife, there comes the conch. Conch come right out. This is a complete conch now.
Try a piece of live conch with lemon right there on the quayside. It may look strange and off-putting, but it is a local delicacy, and the taste is really quite good. Bargaining is the form here, but don't expect to make great headway and hope to cut the price by half. You'll be lucky to get $1 or $2 off. It's from here that the ferries depart to outlying islands. Whilst this time we've only looked at Nassau and its holiday beaches, trips to Rose Island and Eleuthera are popular with tourists who enjoy the quieter haunts on one of the 699 other islands of the Bahamas. Nassau is popular with the large cruise ships on their way further south to other Caribbean islands or on their way home to Florida and beyond. The harbour is full of activities all year round, and it's here that one finds waterside restaurants overlooking the queues of ocean liners moored alongside. The climate of these islands is tropical. That means, in layman's language, pleasant, pleasantly warm, hot and humid, and sometimes a combination of all these. In fact, the Bahamas enjoys a balmy, gentle climate, except during the hurricane season, which the natives will tell you is short, sharp, and seldom a real problem. For the most part, take lightweight cotton clothing, plenty of short-sleeve shirts and T-shirts, but do remember that most hotels are fully air-conditioned, and the difference between one sliding door dividing the world outside and the hotel lobby can be as much as 20 degrees. Most of the 4- and 5-star and luxury hotels also require jacket and tie for dinner in many of their restaurants, in complete contrast to beachside buffets where wearing a T-shirt is considered almost overdressed. The lowest rainfall is during the winter months. It's also the local high season, which means higher hotel costs. it also means many more people on the beaches and restaurants. Best time to visit is late spring and early summer. But whatever you do, avoid the US college break times, half terms, when hordes of partying college students descend on these islands and refuse to sleep during night hours, preferring to cultivate their dancing and drinking techniques in discos to the accompaniment of very loud music. But seriously, one has to be very unfortunate to find anything really amiss amongst this magnificent collection of beautiful islands, some so small that it only accommodates a single beach, perfect for those idyllic moments romantic visitors desire. Take a bird's-eye view. The experience will linger long in your memory, and the splendid colours of the shallow waters below are fun-filled and inviting. There's so much to do here, but luckily the Activities Centre, you'll find one practically on every hotel's beach, offers a really wide variety of water sports and excursions. Be sure that those super-fast speedboats are well insured. Sailing, surfing, water skiing, parasailing, scuba diving, or just joining in with the poolside fun and organised activities. There's tuition too if you require it.
Not over your head here. I want you to slowly walk out, put your face in the water. Breathe. Just set your face in the
Most
water.
hotels along the fine sandy beaches here know exactly what a fun, weary tourist wants at a certain time of the day. A cool drink or two. Fear not, rescue is on hand.
Last chance for Bloody Mary. Come on and
The
get your
happy
Bloody
hour,
Mary.
an American invention now universally popular, is when you get those super cocktails at half price.
Last chance for Bloody Mary.
The Bahamian shores are ideal for deep-sea fishing too. Once past the coral reef, the ocean bed drops almost vertically down to many miles of the deep. Here, the variety of game fish is legendary, from shark to swordfish and barracuda. The challenge is great, the fun is intense, and the effort is well rewarded. Picnics can be organised with the hotel providing cold selections of fish and meat, fruit and drinks galore. Sunbathing on deck is probably the fastest way to tanning. But do watch out, the reflection of the water and the tropical sun will soon make its mark on your skin. Use sunscreen 8 and up to start with. There are some 50 good hotels to choose from whilst holidaying on Providence Island. One that is quite remarkable is the Crystal Palace, which is by far the largest of holiday hotels we have ever visited. But in spite of the size, or perhaps because of it, the place feels more like a complete resort than a single hotel. In fact, with 1,550 rooms and suites in several large buildings, this place is unreal. Vern, the resort's own goodwill ambassador, who no matter what is in top form from early morning on.
Everything is good?
The accommodation is not only vast in terms of sheer numbers, but the variety is impressive too. The various towers, as they are called, are set close to the beachfront and do occupy a prime position for view and beachfront location, but at the expense of the sandy shores. Everything is air-conditioned and groomed to perfection. The best accommodation here is in the newest of the towers, the Crystal, and the oldest part, the Riviera Towers, is the old Cable Beach Hotel, a low-rise construction with the most modest rooms in the hotel. A suite will have all the comforts one desires, and in the summer season will cost from around £150 for two-person sharing. For that, there's direct dial telephone, television, a large queen-size double bed, quite a pleasant sitting room for entertaining new friends, and a super balcony with equally super views of the sea, bathroom and small dressing room too. At the other end of the scale, once you hit the jackpot at the casino, try the Galactical Suite, ideal for, well, anyone with too much money. It's a showpiece with everything computerized and gleaming space-age decor. Ursula, the in-house robot come maid, will oblige. All she needs is a few small coins and some rewiring to make her do those household chores. The price tag for all this, a mere $25,000 a night. Small change if you play your cards right down in the casino, some 30-odd floors below. Here in this Las Vegas-style gambling haven, there's just about everything to play, from chemin de fer to blackjack, or even the beginner's favourite, those one-armed bandits that occasionally do make your day. It's all in the wrist action. Or is it? It could be something else. Winning here can make you an instant millionaire. But we don't talk about losing your shirt here. You're probably not wearing one anyway. Certainly not on the beach or next to the pool, where relaxation is the order of the day. Crystal Palace is really for young couples and for families, the more mature visitor, and certainly the active, and even for those who just want peace, the romantic and the lazy. There isn't one type we haven't come across here. This oversized village is so popular that it's packed even in mid-season.
Have a good day. Wonderful to have you with us. Top of the morning. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, champ, how are you?
Shopping, for example, is in several malls where you can buy just about anything from light beachwear and gifts to jewellery or ice cream. Prices here are claimed to be as low as in Nassau itself, and there are some duty-free shops here too for perfumes and the like. The Bahamian dollar is the local currency, but as it's surprisingly of no value outside the Bahamas, don't get stuck with it once you leave here. It'll be difficult to convert to pounds. It's on a par with the US dollar, and in fact one can pay with the American currency anywhere. There are banks in town, but changing in the hotel seems to make little difference, should you run out of cash. Because it caters for American tourists, the Bahamas is very geared to accepting credit cards, so there's no problem here. In fact, it is one part of the Caribbean where it's claimed that everything works, and works well. Electricity, air conditioning, telephones. You'll find little to complain about here. The variety of restaurants is also impressive, from a la carte La Grille to Mexican adventure and the practical deli and the elegant Sole Mare, where the views are truly extraordinary. Entertaining here or enjoying intimate dinners with friends is the form. But watch out for the exclusive champagne labels. The price tag is somewhat exclusive too. Our video guides team found the Sunday brunch the best experience of them all. Usually situated within the Oriental restaurant on the first floor, just next to the casino. The variety on offer is impressive, even by American standards. Locals come here too, which is a sure sign that the chef has excelled himself. If this sounds like a commercial, it isn't. Try this feast during your visit. You won't regret it. The strip of sandy beach that runs in front of the towers is not as wide as it is elsewhere on the island, but if you're an early riser, it can be all yours, for a while anyway. By 10 o'clock in the morning, it's teeming with the greatest variety of bodies, all anxious to catch the best of the sun. There are two large pools where tranquil swimming in the early morning is replaced by the active, energetic sporting types, hell-bent on having a fun time of their own. Children are certainly not forgotten. Camp Carnival is the centre, where supervised activities from just ploughing the sand with pretty camp staff to perfecting the technique of the hula hoop. But the important thing is that they can have supervised fun, even putting on shows and getting to grips with the junior junkanoos. For the in-betweens, at least in age, the regular booze cruise on board one of the replica galleons is irresistible. The form is to be as outrageous as possible, but also as far away from the shore as the captain will take you. There is a light hamburger-type lunch on board and plenty of beer and rum, just to keep the onboard fun and the giggles going on and on and on. Just a short courtesy bus ride away is the Islands Championship 18-hole golf course, recently redesigned and rebuilt. There are lots of lakes, and the strong wind can play havoc with the little white ball, even for the best of golfers. There are buggies, and club rental too is available. Families will find it a pleasant day away from the beach routine once in a while. At the clubhouse, the snack bar has a good selection of sandwiches, hamburgers, and you can charge everything to your room, as the golf club belongs to the hotel. There's tennis here too, or rather, some of the 12 floodlit courts are located here. Everything is top quality as one would expect. But you must book tee-off times and tennis courts though. Driving around Providence Island is somewhat limited, but there are nonetheless some worthwhile trips to make. The highest point of this low-lying tropical island is only a couple of 100 feet, but it does give you a vantage point for some spectacular views overlooking the lake and the Prime Minister's residence. A visit to our Dastra Gardens will reward you with the one and only band of marching flamingos, trained by their proud Sergeant Major, who will not stand for any disobedience. There are pleasant eating places where Bahamian specialities are the norm. Don't expect European or American-style food here. For a 3-course lunch, you'll get change from £10 a head. The Bahamas are as busy or as relaxed as you want them, as elegant or as simple as it takes your fancy. But they are more than spectacular and certainly fun.